What they do, Jones crew? It's your girl Crystal, and I'm back at you again with another lit video. You already know the vibes. Yo, make sure you hit that like button, comment down below, let me know your thoughts on this situation, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell so you never miss a video, because I'm coming to you straight off the press. Hot tea, hot tea. Today we're gonna get into Lil Cam's arrest warrant, Lil Cam's bond forfeiture, Lil Cam's fake ID. We have all the information on Lil Cam's recent situation, what's going on with his cases, what was he arrested for. You already know I'm not going to hold you. We're going to jump right on into it. But first, I do want to say all the information that I do have on this video was obtained by the Harris County District Clerk website. It is free information. It is public information, and it is out there if you guys want to go ahead and check it out. Okay, so the very first case that we see here is active. This is a case that he caught back in April of this year, April 2nd, and the charge was for burglary of a motor vehicle. Burglary of a motor vehicle. He's breaking into cars. He's stealing things from people's cars. He is apprehended. He is taken into custody and arrested and charged for that. Now, also, when he is charged for that and they do a warrant search and they check your records when you're brought into custody, there you can see he does have an out-of-state fugitive warrant. We're going to go ahead and get into some detail on that. Now you can also see he was tampering with government record as well from September of last year. Now, in regards to the out-of-state fugitive warrants, here he is with a few cases in California, Los Angeles. You can see Highland Village, where he obtained the out-of-state fugitive charge, as well as theft of property ranging between $750 to $2,500, as well as burglary of a vehicle, possession of dangerous drugs, and robbery. Okay, this is in the state of California. Now, I don't know if you guys watched my previous videos in regards to J. Prince Sr. paying and donating $1 million to Vice President Al Gore, which then he reached out and Maxine Waters then closed the case, the open investigation the DEA had on J. Prince Sr. So this is the same state where J. Prince Sr. has pull, where we've seen him work his magic in having cases being closed against him. So as you can see here, Lil Cam was out in California committing several crimes here, guys. You can take a look right on into that. Now, moving right along, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the next set of charges in Texas. Here, guys, you can clearly see, okay, this is the court date that he had set for Friday, November 18th, which was reset. They reset the court date for a further date. The date they reset it for, November 28th. They reset that court date. This is a required setting. Appearance not waived. He is demanded to be there. His appearance is not waived, okay? That means he cannot send his lawyer to represent him. His attorney can no longer come in and represent him and say he's not available to appear. So therefore, they must reset the court date. The judge, as you can see here, she's fed up with resetting the court date. So now his appearance is required, okay? His appearance is required. Not only that, guys, but you can clearly see for the reset court date due on November 28th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m., he does have a bond forfeiture. That means the judge has removed his bond and forfeited his bond, meaning there will be an active warrant out for Lil Cam's arrest following 3 to 5 days after this bond forfeiture has been set. That means if he does not show up for court on the 28th of November, he will have an active warrant out for his arrest, which means Houston Police Department can finally start going out and picking him up on this charge, meaning they can finally get a chance to interview him, to question him in regards to what took place on the incident with Takeoff. Guys, this is not a joke. His bond has been forfeited. He is demanded to appear that date, which means clearly he is on the run. He has not been to any of his court dates. He has not showed up for court not one single time regarding this case. He has simply hired his attorney, getting rid of his public defender, which I'm going to get into as well in a minute here, having proof that he did and was issued a public defender that was court appointed. He then filed a motion to remove that public defender and have his own paid attorney represent him. Okay, now this paid attorney has only been resetting these court dates, filing motions, appearing for him, filing motions, and the judge is over it. It's over, guys. This November the 28th, Lil Cam must either be in court or have a warrant issued for his arrest. Now, as you can see here as well on the docket for court, he does have to show up for an appearance for disposition, meaning disposition. The disposition on a criminal record is the current status or final outcome of an arrest or prosecution. Common dispositions are either he's going to be convicted, means he's going to plead guilty, or been found guilty by a court of law, or acquitted, meaning you have been found not guilty by the court of law in a criminal trial. Okay? So this is his final court date for this disposition. This matter must be handled by this date and no longer be dragged out by him and his attorney. Now, we're going to get into what is a bond forfeiture. Can I get out of one if I have one? A bond forfeiture occurs when a person is required to show up for court on either a personal bond or a surety bond, and they fail to show up for that court date. Some judges will give a little bit of leeway, which we've seen in this case, especially if that person has an attorney who can argue for them as to why they were not able to make it in. So guys, you can see here, plain as day, his attorney has been arguing the fact that he can't come in for court. He can't come in for court. Why can't he come in for court? Because he's been on the run. He's been involved in a crime. He was at the scene the night Takeoff was murdered. That's why he can't come in for court. He was not allowed or not supposed to be around any illegal activities. He was not supposed to be around any firearms, any guns or weapons. He was not supposed to be around any alcohol or drug use. And as you can see, as clear as day in the video footage that we all saw with our own two eyes, we seen Lil Cam there that night. And guys, we're going to get into a lot more information than this. Now, reading along, in the event that the judge does issue a bond forfeiture, they are revoking the previous personal bond or surety bond, and the defendant is going to have a warrant issued against them. I repeat, a warrant issued against them. There you have it, guys. The bond was forfeited. As you can see clearly in the documents I just showed you guys, his bond was forfeited, meaning, guys, the judge is fed up. The attorney has weared her thin. He has filed motion after motion of why Lil Cam cannot make it, and now the bond is forfeited. The warrant will typically come out 3 to 5 days after the bond forfeiture is issued. So 3 to 5 days after the bond forfeiture is issued, the defendant will have a warrant issued against him. That court date is set for November 28th for the bond forfeiture, guys, which means we are finally getting a warrant against Little Cam. Now, we're going to get into the case. We're going to get into these charges that he does have against him, guys. And before we go any further, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're commenting down below, sharing your thoughts on this situation. Make sure you're sharing this video so everyone can know the truth about what happened to Takeoff. It's such a sad tragedy. Okay, we want justice for Takeoff. We want this information out there. The only way to get the information out there, guys, is by liking the video so YouTube can promote this video in the algorithm. Okay, hit the bell as well so you never miss a video. Let's get on into it. So we have here the state of Texas versus Joshua Cameron Isaiah, a.k.a. Lil Cam, a.k.a. Yellow Hoodie, okay? Comes now, the state of Texas, by and through its assistant district attorney, and moves this honorable court to enter the following bond condition. These are the conditions of his bond. These are the rules he was supposed to follow being out on bond for those charges we just went over. So as you can see, the state requests the defendant not possess any firearms, ammunition, or other weapons. We already know he broke this agreement as we saw him on the night of the Takeoff incident at the bowling alley. We seen him with the weapon. We seen him out there gambling. We seen him at the table with the money in his hand gambling. Okay. State requests the defendant submit to electronic monitoring by signing the contractual agreement and complying with any stipulated curfews and rules. We all know he broke that curfew because at around 2:30 a.m. he was not at home like he was supposed to be in his contractual agreement that he signed. He was not at home. He was at the bowling alley in Houston, Texas, where Takeoff lost his life. Now also, state requests the defendant submit to GPS monitoring by signing the contractual agreement and complying with any stipulated curfews and rules. State requests the defendant be subject to curfew and that defendant remains at home as provided to the court between the hours of 12 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. Again, he did not follow any of the rules of his contractual agreement, of his bond conditions, guys. He broke all of those rules. All those rules were broken. Surely they're aware of the situation. Surely that's why the bond was forfeited. The bond was issued a forfeiture for that court date on November 18th. He was supposed to show up. He did not show up. His attorney showed and told the judge he wasn't able to make it, and the judge forfeited his bond, revoking his bond. We all just seen that means resulting in an arrest warrant. Now, on this document right here, you can see where they're stating he affirmatively acknowledges their understanding of these conditions. He understands the conditions. He agrees to all the conditions, and he is signing right here. Defendant, whether a foreign national or not, he's forfeiting his passports. You can see here any and all passports, visas. He is not allowed to travel. These are all conditions of his bond, of him being out on bond. These are the conditions that he has agreed to, guys. So he's agreed to surrender any and all passports, visas, or other travel documents, and is prohibited from obtaining or applying for any new supplemental passport, visa, or travel document. Defendant shall have no contact with the complainant in this case or anyone in the complainant's household, including siblings, parents, in person or through any other person, telephonically, by mail, or by any other manner or means. So he is to stay away from the victim or complainant in this case, having no type of contact whatsoever with them. And here it says defendant shall not operate any motor vehicle without properly installing and operating ignition interlock device. So guys, he's not even allowed to drive. Lil Cam is not even allowed to drive. He can't fly. He can't drive. He can't do anything. He can't do anything. So they say, but yet and still, he's gambling after hours at a bowling alley where Takeoff loses his life. Make this make sense, guys. Comment down below what you're thinking right now. This is insane. Now let's keep on going, guys. Defendant shall not possess any firearms, ammunition, or other weapons. Defendant shall submit to random urinalysis. So he's even having to take drug tests, guys. That's what that means. He's having to go in there and pee in a cup. And so they can stick a little strip in there and to see if he's been doing any drugs, drinking alcohol, so on and so forth. Defendant is prohibited from using, possessing any alcohol, controlled substance, dangerous drugs, or marijuana unless prescribed. Now, also, defendant shall submit to GPS monitoring. So he was on a GPS ankle monitor. Now, here's the thing for me. If he's been on a run this entire time, what's going on with this ankle monitor, guys? What is going on with the ankle monitor? How can he possibly be so bold, be so brave to have on an ankle monitor? He's not supposed to be out. He goes to the bowling alley. So clearly there's something going on here with the ankle monitor. Was he able to take it off? I mean, I've heard stories of guys taking off their ankle monitor and putting it on a pet and having the pet at the house. You know, I don't know. They have their ways. I'm going to do some more research into that and figure out how was he actually able to get out of this ankle monitor, to be at that bowling alley after his curfew hours. Okay, comment down below, guys. Let me know what you're thinking about this. Like, this is crazy. So defendant is subject to a curfew. Defendant shall remain in the home between the hours of 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. So from 12 a.m. in the morning until lunchtime, he's supposed to be at home. How is he at a bowling alley where the shooting occurred? How did he get the ankle monitor off? How were they not alerted and looking for him right then and there? I don't understand, guys. So here's the motion to substitute counsel right here. As I stated, he did start off with a public defender and then moved and had filed a motion for that public defender to be replaced to allow a paid attorney to come in and represent him, guys. So let's read this paperwork here. Now, it says here, now comes Cameron Isaiah Joshua, defendant, and brings this motion to substitute counsel, requesting the court grant permission for Jonathan J. Vila to withdraw, that's the public defender, and to substitute Christopher Downey as attorney of record for defendant in this case, and in support thereof would show: 1. Joshua J. Vila was previously appointed by the court to represent defendant in this case. Defendant no longer desires to be represented by Jonathan J. Vila, the public defender. Christopher Downey, which is the paid attorney, has been employed to represent Cameron Isaiah Joshua in this case. Cameron Isaiah Joshua approves this substitute. The motion is not brought for delay, but to allow defendant to be represented by counsel of his choice. Wherefore, premises considered, defendant prays that the court enter an order allowing Jonathan J. Vila to withdraw from representing defendant and substitute Christopher Downey. Now, again, I will state all this information that I have obtained for the entire video is on the Harris County District Clerk website. You can go on the website. There's the link right there, guys, if you want to copy it, screenshot it, and check it out for yourself, okay? Now, next, you can see here the order for pretrial supervision, his bond conditions, which we just went over already. Defendant shall appear in court. If you look down at the X boxes all the way to the bottom, defendant shall appear in court on time every time this case is set on the court's docket. Defendant shall commit no crime and shall not engage in any conduct that could result in his or her arrest. Guys, we've already seen Lil Cam. We all saw the footage. Violate the terms of your bond condition. You violated the terms of your bond condition. Now, guys, it also appears that they seem to be waiting to see what happens with his felony case. On the misdemeanor case that was reset. Usually they will wait to see what happens with the felony case. Now, right here, you can see documentation of defendant is required to submit to drug and alcohol testing by authorized agency personnel. And also defendant's travel is restricted as follows. He is to remain within the state of Texas. Now, we've already know he's fled before. He fled the state of California. That's why he has that fugitive state charge that we seen on the docket. Okay, he is to remain in the state of Texas. Will he follow? Is he even still in Texas, guys? Let me know what you think down below. Also, he is to remain within Harris County, Texas. He is not even allowed to leave Harris County. Do you think he's still in Harris County? I don't think so. Now, also, defendant must not use, possess, or consume marijuana or any controlled substances. We went over this already, guys. All of this, if you want to pause it and read it for yourself, these are facts right from the website itself. Guys, here's a fake license. Lil Cam's fake ID. I have the fake ID. He also has a charge for this fake ID. When they arrested him, they found him. He tried to give the police officers a fake ID, guys. Here's the fake ID that he tried to give the officers. He was taken into custody, and that's the evidence of the fake ID right there. So there you have it, guys. Lil Cam, the full rundown. Lil Cam having an arrest warrant that will be placed for him on November 28th for bond forfeiture for him not showing up to any of his court dates, which was one of the agreements he signed to his condition of his release of bond, okay? So when they released him on bond, he agreed to show up to his court dates. He agreed to not be around drugs. He agreed to not be around any illegal activity. He agreed to not be around any weapons or firearm. And again, there he is right there gambling. There he is right there at the table where they're shooting dice, money in his hand. If you've seen the footage, you can see all of that, guys. So comment down below. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you hit the little bell and subscribe as well. I'm bringing you guys straight exclusive content straight off the press, guys. If you want to look for this information, again, make sure you head over to Harris County District Clerk website where you can obtain everything I just went over, guys. I'm just updating you guys with all the information that I have. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.